Today's topic is The Highest Ideal of Cure by Dr. J.T. Kent. Let's discuss what is cure and what is the nature of cure. So, as we already discussed in Organon of Medicine by Dr. Henneman, in aphorism 2, the highest ideal of cure is rapid, gentle, and permanent restoration of the health or removal and annihilation of the disease in its whole extent, in the shortest, most reliable, and most harmless way, on easily comprehensible principle. So, the cure by Dr. Henneman is a process to restore the sick to health, to fulfill the aim and mission of the physician, that is, to restore the sick to health, to cure. Cure is a process by which the sickness of an individual is restored to health with the total annihilation of disease based upon law of similia. That is a fixed principle and that is the basis of homeopathy. Cure relates to the case as a whole. As in homeopathy, the approach is always holistic. It is not only a mere removal of external symptoms or a group of symptoms, but it is the complete restoration of health. It refers to restoration of the whole economy of a man. For example, a patient may have hemorrhoids or rectal symptoms which is removed by treatment. But if the symptoms of heart or liver diseases which precedes before those hemorrhoids and which are responsible for causing his hemorrhoids are not removed, we cannot term it as cure. And so there are numerous such morbid conditions. Cure refers to the patient, not to some symptoms of disease, nor to what may be called one of his diseases. It should be complete restoration of health. We have to consider each and every aspect of health. What is health? Health is the physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. So we have to encounter all the aspects. Then only we can term it as cure. And to achieve this highest ideal of cure, there are certain conditions which has to be fulfilled. These conditions are that the cure should be rapid, it should be speedy, it should be prompt. Rapid is a relative term which depends upon the nature of disease, as we have classified diseases as acute diseases and chronic diseases. If we talk about acute diseases, these diseases are self-limiting and have a definite course which results into death or recovery. Now, in case of acute disease, the cure should be, it must be before these diseases run their definite course. The acute cases should be aborted before the completion of their course. Then we call it as a cure. But in chronic diseases, it requires more time, as these diseases are deep seated and they are existing from quite a long time. Second is, the cure should be gentle. Means the procedure or the treatment you are adopting, method of treatment should be mild. It should be gentle. As our patient is already suffering, the treatment adopted, the procedure adopted should not increase his sufferings, his agony. So it should be mild. There should be permanent restoration of health. What does it mean? It means after treatment, cure should be permanent. There must not be any relapse or recurrence of disease or recurrence of any symptom. The mere removal of external symptoms by any means is not cure in the true sense. And palliation or suppression of suffering is not our aim. Our aim is to cure. Then Dr. Henneman said, removal and annihilation of the disease in its whole extent. Now, what is disease? Disease is disharmony, dis-ease. There is deviation from the healthy state and producing the signs and symptoms. So a disease consists of many symptoms. Some symptoms are more troublesome, some are less troublesome. So we should not be satisfied only by removing the more troublesome symptoms. We should approach holistically. We have to consider each and every symptom, because every symptom is indicating a deviation from the state of normal health. And until and unless we consider the individual as a whole, we cannot treat or cure the disease entirely. Hence, each and every symptom has to be removed in order to make a desirable cure. And the cure should be in the shortest time. Now, this depends upon the selection of most similar remedy, the similimum. How we can get this similimum? We have to consider all the individualizing features, all the characteristic peculiar symptoms of an individual which make his suffering different from another. And these individualization is the basis of our prescription. These individualizing features construct the totality of the symptoms, and on the basis of this totality, a similimum is to be find out, and it is to be administered to expect a cure. Now, this straightforward approach to treatment is time saving and it is always preferable. The cure should be based on reliable law. It should be reliable. Now, when the disease symptoms go away following Hering's law of cure, there should be some path to follow in order to cure, and this path is Hering's law of cure, that is defined as the symptoms should go away from above downwards, from within outwards, from center to periphery, from more important to less important organ, and in the reverse order of their coming, of their appearance of symptoms. Means the symptom which is coming last will disappear at first. The cure should be in most harmless way. Means the procedure adopted should not inflict further injury upon the patient. During Dr. Hahnemann's time, there were many procedures like bloodletting, purgation, leeching, fasting, etc. were practiced, which caused more harm than the disease proper. So such treatments should be avoided, and this cure, it is to be based on easily comprehensible principles. Means those principles, those laws that are very transparent, that are easily understood, and those principles that are fixed, like law of nature. So it is based on such principles which are never changing. This is the highest ideal of cure stated by Dr. Hahnemann in Organon of Medicine. Now, according to Dr. Kent, if you were to ask a physician who had not been trained in homeopathy of what a cure consists, if you ask a known homeopath what is cure according to him, so he will have only one answer, that is the disappearance of the pathological state, because he is taught like that. For example, if an eruption on the skin were the given instance, the disappearance of the eruption from the skin under his treatment would be called a cure. So a patient is coming with a skin eruption and he treat that eruption, and when the eruption got disappeared, he termed it as cure. Likewise, if it is a case of hemorrhoids, so removal of these hemorrhoids would be called a cure. If he has constipation, the opening of the bowels would be called a cure according to him. If there is some affection of knee joint, he will perform a surgery above the knee or amputation above the knee. He considered it as cure. If it were an acute disease and the patient didn't die, it would be considered a cure of the disease. And that is really the idea of the patient, as it is derived from the physician. Patient also feels like if for whatever disease he can see externally, like if he has pain in abdomen, if he has headache, and after prescribing, after taking some medicine from any physician, if that symptom goes away, then he thinks he is cured. So the patient will very often wonder at the great skill of the physician in removing an eruption from the skin, and will go back again when the graver manifestation, the tissue changes threatening death, have come on as a consequence. As I already told you, before about palliation, or I told you about suppression. So what there is in suppression? When you palliate a symptom a lot of times, then it turn into suppression, and it cause grievous manifestation, and there is a inward turmoil of the disease, and after some time it will manifest as a more grievous disease. Like in such case, when a physician removed an eruption from the skin, after some time the patient will develop more threatening conditions, more tissue changes inside as a consequence. And as patient is not aware about these kind of palliations and these kind of suppressions, so what will he say to the doctor? He will say, you so wonderfully cured me of my skin disease, why can't you cure me of my liver trouble? He doesn't know that the liver trouble is the result of that suppression of the skin disease which was done previously by this doctor. But this very scientific ignorant doctor has made a failure. What he has done? Why failure? He has driven what was upon the surface. He has driven those external indication of disease which are almost harmless. He drive those external manifestations into the innermost pre-instincts of the economy, and the patient is going to die as a result of scientific ignorance. Because of this suppression of these external manifestations of disease, there is inward turmoil, there is grievous tissue changes inside the economy, and which can later on results into death of that patient. So according to Dr. Kent, there are 3 points which must be brought out in order to cure. The first point is restoring health and not the removing of symptoms. Restoring health to establish an order in a sick human being who is disordered. Removing symptoms has not in view. Removing symptoms like constipation, hemorrhoids, swelling of knee, skin diseases, any local, external, particular sign of disease, or even the removal of a group of symptoms does not have to have in view the restoration to health of the whole economy of man. So only what I told you, only the mere removal of the manifestations of disease on external plane like constipation, hemorrhoids, these symptoms, only the removal of these symptoms is not considered to be the complete restoration or complete restoration to health of the whole economy of man. If the removal of symptoms is not followed by a restoration to health, it cannot be called a cure. Let us understand this. We learned in our last study that the sole duty of the physician is to heal the sick. Remember the aphorism 1. It is not the duty of physician to remove only the symptoms or to change the aspect of symptoms or to change the appearance of disease image, as in case of suppression, imagining that he has therefore established order. This is not the aim of physician. What a simple minded creature he must be. If he palliate, or if he only suppress the disease, that will aggravate the interior nature of the disease, and it will aggravate the sickness of man and brings about an increase of suffering within him. It will never ever cure. What is cure? Cure is when the patient should be able to realize by his feelings and continue to say that he is being restored to health whenever a symptom is removed. There should be a corresponding inward improvement whenever an outward symptom has been caused to disappear. Whenever you remove a symptom, outward symptom, there should be corresponding inward improvement. This will be true whenever disease had been displaced by order. When you remove the symptom following the path of cure, following the natural law of cure, following the order, there will always a corresponding inward improvement, feeling of improvement in the interior of man. This is called cure. Now the second point is, the perfection of cure consists then first in restoring health, and this is to done promptly, mildly, and permanently. This is the second point. The cure should be prompt, it should be rapid, it should be speedy, it should be mild. The procedure adopted should be mild, should be safe. It should not increase the agony and suffering of patient, and it should be permanent. There should not be any relapses or recurrence of disease or symptoms. Then you have to fulfill this requirement, this second point, in order to cure. The cure must be quick or speedy. It must be gentle. It must be continuous or permanent. It should not be like there is again recurrence of symptoms after leaving the treatment. It should be permanent. After stopping the treatment, after leaving the treatment, there should not be any recurrence or appearance of the symptoms again. Whenever an outward symptom has been caused to disappear by violence or by any violent treatment, as by cantharids to remove constipation, it cannot be called mild or permanent if it is prompt. Anyhow, if you removed some symptom or promptly, it doesn't mean you cured it. It has to be persistent removal. It has to be permanent. Until and unless it is permanent restoration, it is not called as cure. And the treatment adopted should not be violent. Whenever violent drugs are resorted to, there is nothing mild in the action or the reaction that must follow. If you are giving the violent drugs, So whatever the action of medicine, there will be if you are giving crude drugs in higher doses, so the reaction will be like that. There is an opposite reaction of that action of medicine. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction in terms of large doses. If you are giving large violent doses to resort any disease condition, the reaction will be more and it will worsen the condition of the patient. At the time this second paragraph of the organon was written, psyching was not so mild as at the present day. Bloodletting, sweating, etc. were in vogue at the time of Hahnemann wrote these lines. We have already discussed it. So the treatment should be mild. There should be the homeopathic treatment is we have the cardinal principle, one of the cardinal principle, law of minimum dose. So it should be followed. Minimum doses should be followed in order to cure. Medicine has changed somewhat in its appearance. Physicians are now using sugar-coated pills and contriving to make medicines appear tasteless, tasteful. They are using concentrated alkaloids. But none of these things have been done because of the discovery of any principle. Bloodletting, sweating were not abandoned on account of principle, for the old men deprecate their disuse and often say they hope the time will come when they can again go back to the lancet. But the drugs of today are 10 times more powerful than those formerly used because more concentrated. The cocaine, sulfonal, and numerous other modern concentrated products of the manufacturing chemists are extremely dangerous and their real action and reaction unknown. So, large doses of medicines should be avoided in order to avoid the violent reaction or the side effects upon the economy of the man. The chemical discoveries of petroleum have opened a field of destruction to the human intelligence, to the understanding, and to the will, because these products are slowly and insidiously violent. So, these are the side effects of these medicines, which is discovered. So, these large doses are very much violent and very much affects the human beings and have a lot of side effects if used for a long time. When drugs were used that were instantly dangerous and violent, the action was manifest. It showed upon the surface and common people saw it. But the patient of the present day goes through more dangerous drugging because it destroys the mind. The apparent benefits produced by these drugs are never permanent. So, these large doses not only produces violent side effects and it not only destroying the mind and the physique of the patient, it also the effects, the good effects, the benefits are also not permanent. They are for a they just gave only a temporary relief to the patient for some time, until and unless you are using those medicines, those large doses. They would definitely provide relief, but on a long run you will get addicted to them, and you need more doses in order to get that relief, and your condition will get worsened with the time. They may in some cases seem to be permanent, but then it is because upon the economy has been engrafted a new and most insidious disease, more subtle and more tenacious than the manifestation that was upon the external. And it is because of this tenacity that the original symptoms remain away. And after a long time, if you are using those large doses, they will create a mess in the economy. The disease, they will create a new disease which will known as artificial chronic disease, which will make their disease more dangerous and more most harmful, which are incurable. They will create incurable diseases named artificial chronic disease on a long run. The disease in its nature, its essence has not been changed. It is still there, causing the internal destruction of the man, but its manifestations has been changed, and there has been added to this natural disease a drug disease more serious than the former. So at the last, they are if you are on that large doses, they will destroy the interior of the man, but not only destroying the interior, but also added to the natural disease a new disease, a drug disease, the artificial chronic disease, which is more serious, which is more incurable than the formal. So the manner of cure can only be mild if it flows in the stream of natural direction. If it if the treatment, if the cure follow the law of nature, the treatment follow the direction of law of nature, establishing order and thereby removing disease. The direction of old fashioned medicine is like pulling a cat up a hill by a tail, whereas the treatment that is mild, gentle, and permanent flows with the stream, scarcely producing a ripple. It adjusts the internal disorder, and the outermost of the men returns to order. If the treatment adopted is mild, it is gentle, and if it is permanent, it will adjust, it will remove the disorder and adjust the outermost of men returns to the order. It will treat the disorder and turns it into order. Everything becomes orderly from the interior.